Today I went out foraging with the family. Together we picked over 100 flower heads belonging to the first bloom of dandelions. It's a task I've anticipated for many months now, and finally the opportunity has risen. The reason I've been begging for dandelions to reappear is for the rather impressive homemade vegan honey alternative that both tastes and acts like the real thing. My creation today is a rather standard recipe. The reason for this is to keep it traditional. Many prefer a slice of lemon, with the added benefit of increasing the acidity, therefore lowering the probability of crystallization during storage. And many like to add other ingredients, being berries, herbs, or fruit peels. As the recipe I'm showing you today is conveniently similar to jams and syrup, being that the only added ingredient is sugar, it's rather versatile and easy to make. So let's get to it. Step 1. Go outside and have a long walk. When approaching grassy areas, you should hopefully notice the bright yellow, heavily petaled, honey-scented dandelion flower heads, packed with minerals and nutrients, along with an edible rosette of long leaves that are largely incised. When the rounded stem is snapped, it often releases a white liquid. This is latex, and if you have any allergies to this, then I'd advise you leave this ID here and watch some of my other videos. But if not, you'll want 100 heads for a small batch, and if making in larger quantities, you'll want to use this as a reference point to calculate how much water and therefore sugar is needed. Step 2. You'll want to individually remove the yellow flowers from their green housing. You can conveniently do this by breaking the head in half, pinching the base with your thumbnail, and then you'll want to gently pull on the ends of the petals to loosen them. I'll do this with my other thumbnail. If off-grid living is what you have in mind, then I'd suggest leaving the small green heads on, just breaking them in half before putting in a pot, or further pinching off the section that holds the flower petals. The only reason for removing the green head is so that you'll get a less bitter honey. If your aim is to preserve nutrients for survival, I'd take advantage of the green heads and the time you can save by less processing. Step 3. Nice and easy. We're going to fill up our boiling pot with 400 milliliters of water for every 100 heads. Once calculated and filled, place your pot of water and petals onto a medium-high heat until a rolling boil occurs, then reduce the heat and simmer for half an hour. For this part of the process, you're basically just making a very strong nutrient-dense tea. If you were to drink this as it currently is, I can imagine the cramping wouldn't be so pleasant. Once cooled, I suggest moving both water and petals into a fresh container in the fridge to be left overnight for the best results. But if you're impatient and went out nice and early when the heads are at their freshest, then you may want to steep for a minimum of 6 hours in the fridge before moving on to step 4. Step 4 is to strain your tea and press your petals to remove the liquid contained within. Now weigh your liquid or use a measuring jug to find out your quantity. Step 5. Using the weight of your liquid as reference, for example I have 300 milliliters, you'll want to weigh your sugar to the same number in grams, being 300 grams for 300 milliliters of liquid. This is to help it set and act as the preservative. If off-grid living is in mind, then your source of sugar will come from tapping trees and then simmering down to a syrup or until crystallized sugar for better measure. Step 6. At this point you have your strained liquid and your sugar. You'll want to transfer your liquid to a boiling pot and bring to a boil, then lower the temperature and simmer for 45 minutes to 2 hours. You'll want to add your sugar when you lower your heat, as to avoid burning it. I rushed ahead, but fortunately I didn't let it boil for long, so I didn't get the burnt taste. Step 7 is to wait and occasionally stir. Monitor the thickness. When it reaches a syrup consistency, you'll want to remove it from the heat and allow it to cool before jarring. It will thicken up as it cools, so don't overcook your mixture or it will be too thick or crystallize. If your mixture appears to be going black or dark brown, you most likely damaged the sugars. Your mixture should look golden amber, smell like a floral honey, and have a viscous texture that grips to the spoon like the real thing. Once sealed in jars, your honey should last 6 to 12 months if unopened. For a person that would like to have a honey of their own while not having to farm a single bee or pay a premium, just a nice walk with the family picking flowers, this is the perfect vegan-friendly option. Online, a jar of dandelion honey costs upwards of £20, so this is an extremely good way to save yourself plenty of money, yet still have a premium quality honey for pennies per jar.